Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh, I'm clapping along with today's show because I'm feeling in a gospel mood. I'm feeling gospel-y and all happy and everything as we're coming upon Christ's birth. Amen. Amen. Mike Matthews here from podCastro Valley-ville, talking to you with Mike's Daily Podcast. We're getting so close to the end of 2015 because, you know what?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
We gotta look back at some of the big artists that I've had on my show this year and play some of the awesome songs that they do on
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The segment 2015 NIFTY RADIO. I love Billy Ocean, and you can be sure he's great. He put out 1 million hits in the 80s, but I've had a lot on my mind as of late. It's the Winter Solstice today, so not much time to do everything on my plate. It's the shortest light day of the years.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I'm going to be alone on Christmas. That is plain and clear.
Mike's
So expect
Daily
a very strange
Podcast
to brighten your day.
Yeah!
That day. This season's greeting season has flown by. I have not made it out to a single holiday light parade. Oh, wait, except for that one in podCastro Valley, which nicely happens in the month of November, so we get it out of the way early. We're smart, us podCastro Valley-ans. Usually California is great for holiday parades, but this year we've had East Coast weather, while the East Coast is getting our weather for Christmas. It's supposed to be one of the warmest Christmases on record. I have got to turn off the TV that's over here in the cafe anyway. It is distracting me. I can only watch so much of that Zimmern and his bizarre food show. Love him. But the show distracts me from bringing you my important podcast that you are listening to. I'd like to say hello to someone that gave us a shout out. The wonderful Ariel, who you hear say, here's today's podcast picture, and also who says at the end of every single show, Mike's Daily Podcast is completely done without any help whatsoever from anybody, and it's done by Mike Matthews completely, which is not actually true because sometimes we have Haley on, and Haley contributes so much to the show. Look who just walked in, including this person also contributes as well. Hello, Michael Masters. This is Madame Rootabega. What do I contribute to this show? You contribute your wonderful voice, your interesting perspective on things, your beauty. Thank you, Michael Masters. Oh, I have to... excuse me while I pull out of my... I have some fine linen pants that I am wearing today. Linen. And with fine linen pants, usually a belt is not included. So you have the drawstring with the fine linen pants. So basically I'm wearing George Costanza fat clothes. That's a Seinfeld reference. I'm wearing fat people clothes. I might as well be wearing a sweatsuit. Sweat wear. Not sexy athlete wear, athletic wear, but sweatpants wear. It's what I'm wearing. Because I wear it. Beware. Let me share with you a text, Madame Rootabega. Please, Michael Master, I love the texts. Such a beautiful state, and the people are very large. What? They wear the 10-gallon hats. That's Texas. This is a text. Okay. I would like to read this text. This is from someone texting me. Okay, here's their text to me. Want to come to church at 8:15 tomorrow? Gina's sitting with us. All right. I reply, I'm the one in the blue bubble. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we didn't mean to interrupt your talk there. Continue on with your podcast.
Yeah, Mike, your podcast. Do you know that? I really enjoyed your segment, Do You Know That, last show, by the way, Bison Bentley. Thanks, Mike. You're the one that did it, though. I know. We found out all about the poor Scott Weiland and how he indeed left this world, what was the cause of his death. And also we heard early statistics way back when Star Wars had only made $55 million. That's so piddly, that amount of money. And now it's made a gazillion, billion, trillion dollars. Everybody has gone to see this movie. I, however, am not going to go to a theater to see it. I am going to wait. Yes. I am not going to do it. I'm going to wait to see this movie. Someone that I work with told me the entire plot at my bequest, at my request, my behest, my expressness to say I don't want to see this movie. He told me the entire movie, the entire plot, and after I heard it, I would have to agree with him and say that it sounds exactly like the very first one that I went to see with my grandma these years ago at the Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, California. I saw the movie shortly after R2-D2 and C-3PO put their prints in the cement. R2-D2 had to be lowered via crane to put the cement, otherwise it wouldn't have been. If you rolled them into the cement, you couldn't have made R2-D2 prints. So I saw this movie when it first came out a gazillion years ago, the first one, the real one, and then I'm hearing all about the plot and how it's ripping off stuff from the original movie. I don't know. Everybody went to see this movie. I'm sounding like Bill Gunderson now. I don't know. I mean, he said the exact same thing I'm saying. Gosh, I'm plagiarizing Bill Gunderson. He's a talk show radio host guy that talks about stocks. And he goes, I'm not going to see the Star Wars movie. I don't know. I mean, it's like, I'll wait till it comes out on video cassette tape. Because Bill Gunderson is very folksy and doesn't say a single offensive thing. Oh, you don't like it when I talk about values, that I have values, that I think that people need to, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they should get married if they're the same sex. I don't know. That's what he says. All this change going on in today's world, Bill Gunderson says. I can't keep up with it. I don't know. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Star Wars. So am I going to see this movie? I'll wait till it comes out. I am looking forward to when it comes on to the Netflix. I will see it then. I'm currently watching Ant-Man to show you how behind the times I am. I'm enjoying Ant-Man. I've gotten halfway through it, and I love the sort of the bit of humor that it throws in here and there. Of course, you will always have a bit of humor with Paul Rudd, and even the Michael Douglas is hilarious. I'm enjoying this. We'll see how it wraps up. I actually know the ending of this one as well, because I did the exact same thing with Ant-Man when it came out. I love to hear the plots first. I love to hear people describe the plots. Because, I'm hearing it from people that aren't in media, that aren't journalists. Because I don't have any media friends. No, I have a lot of media friends. But, I mean, nobody really can, unless you're working for it. It's tough to sum up a movie is what I'm saying. You always miss something. So what I'm saying is I will... All right, I've said it 1,000 times, sorry.
Mike, you're repeating yourself.
Michael Master, I would suggest you continue with that text message thing you're reading. Woo! Yes, so it said, want to come to church at 8:15 tomorrow. Gina's sitting with us. Then I wrote back in the blue bubble, that's enticing, but I have a bunch to do before work tomorrow. I will take a rain check. And this person wrote back, what's more important than hearts? I think that this person meant love. What's more important than love? They're trying to fix me up with Gina. But I needed to go to church at 8:15 this morning in order for that to happen, to be fixed up at church. Sunday, do you realize I get up at 4 a.m. every single day, and Sunday is my only day that I can sleep in, and you want me to go somewhere at 8:15? That means I have to get up, shower and everything, and then go to I'm not going to do it, and then plus go to a church. All week long, I listen to pastors give sermons because I work at a radio station that's what they play. 24 hours a day, pastor sermons. Why am I going to go to a church anyway? So I guess I will be alone forever. That's the deal. I basically have just said I resolved myself to be alone forever.
Into an interview.
Let's do this interview now with Madame Rootabega. Madam, thank you for being on the show. Michael Masu, I am on every single show except for... Yeah, that's not true. It's every other show? No, not every other show. Is it every other show? It's like every third show. That's right, Michael Masu. Ooh. So you've been on the show. How was 2015 for you, madam? Well, I don't know. A lot of people think that I am the woman from the Modern Family. Ooh. Sofia Vergara? Yes, Michael Masu. Uh-huh. But you are not. No. If you were, I would have a lot of drool coming out of my mouth. No offense. None taken. What were you saying? I was saying that you're not as pretty as Sophie Vergara. And you're not as good looking as that guy that she is married to, the hunk. Yes, that guy from How I Met Your Mother and Magic Mike. Yes, Michael Masu. Speaking of Magic Mike, Miley Cyrus... No, those aren't connected in any way. But Miley... actually, this is, because Miley Cyrus is stripped. She is naked. Topless on Plastique magazine. She is, well, you know, covering herself ever so... very barely covering herself. So, Miley Cyrus. Miley is an exhibitionist. She is not ashamed of her body. She wants everyone to see her body. I feel weird seeing her body. I could be her dad. I'm around her dad's age. I just feel weird. I'm not comfortable with that. So Miley, quit showing me your tatas. I would like to also tell you this other interesting entertainment news. Lots of entertainment news in today's show before we get to the 2015 NIFTY Radio. And I know that doesn't quite work, 2015 NIFTY. It would be 2050 NIFTY Radio. Anyway. But Carrie Fisher apparently gave Daisy Ridley dating advice while they were making the movie Star Wars The Force Awakens. She told Daisy, quote, not to go through the crew like wildfire, or something to that effect. Maybe I didn't quote that exactly right. But I guess Carrie Fisher at one time would date the entire crew. Carrie Fisher was beautiful in her younger days. Where was I? I was not on that crew, and I don't think I would have been old enough to date her anyway. But just saying, Carrie Fisher gives out advice. How good. Good for the world that she does that, so we can all learn something new. Speaking of meeting lovely people and romance and falling in love and all that, I was walking my dog today, Basil the Boxer, and I'm going to put an F8 right here, so I remember to put Basil's Boxer there. I was walking him today, and I saw this girl walking a dog, a young German Shepherd. And this story is to prove to you that I will be alone forever. There's this girl, and she, you know, I can tell it's a woman walking her dog. And I say hi to her. She says hi to me. We continue. We're walking the same way. We're walking over to this trail. I end up on the trail. I take Basil off leash, and then I see her appear behind me a little bit later, and she goes, "Hey, is your dog friendly?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Mind if I take my dog off leash?" And I said, "No, go ahead, take your dog off leash." So Basil and her dog were playing. And she talks to me. She's got a little hood on, right? Because it's raining. It was raining today here at podCastro Valleyville. And she says to me, you know, we start talking to each other, and she's like, "Oh, how long have you been in podCastro Valley," etc. And we're talking, and she takes off her hood, and she is beautiful. I'm going to put F8 here for the harp string effect. Okay. So she's beautiful. I end up walking and talking to her for about a good 15 minutes. And we're laughing and talking about all kinds of things and pointing stuff out. And like, she works a weird shift and I work a weird shift. And we have a lot in common. It's really nice. But she keeps saying, when we moved to podCastro Valleyville. And that's the red flare right there. That's what tells you we. Well, okay, that's her and someone. Sure enough, we get to her house, as I'm walking past her house, and I meet her husband. Her husband seemed very nice. So I shall be alone forever, and I'm fine with that. But I would like to tell you that tinsel, I'm glad that tinsel is not around. I did not like tinsel back in the days when I was a youngster, and it would get on the television screen, you couldn't get it off, or if you tried to, you get electrocuted. Tinsel. That was one random thought I had to throw in there. And here's one more ridiculous random post.
Ridiculous random post.
And that is, Countess Vaughn and Moesha have made up. Did you ever watch the TV show Brandy? I mean the show Moesha. The girl that played Moesha was Brandy. So confusing. Yay. They have made up. Apparently there was some kind of feud going on between the two of them. And Countess put an open apology letter on Facebook saying, you're great, Brandy. And she replied, you are too. And I just think Brandy is a beautiful, beautiful woman. I've always thought that, and I'm not going to disagree with myself now. Okay, want to let you know, though, that there is this wonderful place called Mike'sDailyPodcast.com where you can check out all the other wonderful places you can listen to this show at. There's a myriad of places, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podomatic, YouTube, and others. All those there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Also, if you want to help us out and you're going to buy anything on Amazon, any last-minute gifts, go there to Mike'sDailyPodcast.com and do it. You can do it in the daytime or the nighttime. There's not much daytime today because of the Winter Solstice. So get on that. And while you're at it, maybe buy a Billy Ocean record or so. Buy some of the early Billy Ocean, pre-'80s. He did some awesome stuff in the 70s. Billy Ocean, just an amazing, talented guy from Trinidad. And then also, if you would like to give us a Yuletide greeting, there's this thing.
Yuletide personalized MP3 for thee contest.
Yes, the Yuletide personalized MP3 for thee. Send us a holiday greeting. Just write something down like Merry Christmas, Mike, or whatever the heck. Email it, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or you can reply to any of the places we're at. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. And if you do that, we will send you a special recorded MP3 greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters sent to you. Isn't that a wonderful Yuletide gift? And we read your comments and whatnot on the section emails from email. Mike'sDailyPodcast@gmail.com if you want to email. Alrighty, let's get to the first of our 2015 Nifty Radio segments.
2015 Nifty Radio.
Hi, I'm Mark Kennedy. Matt Allen. Greg Hopkins. For Crumb Catcher. And you're listening to Mike's Daily Podcast with Mike Matthews.
Hi, this is Tom Roram from the band Lowlands, and you're listening to Mike's Daily Podcast with Mike Matthews.
We're from the band Great Highway. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jason.
And you're listening to Mike's Daily Podcast with Mike Matthews.
All right, so we talked to a couple of cool bands in 2015. That first band we heard from, the first band I spoke to this year was a band called Crumb Catcher. They were in the South. I spoke to them. Fantastic bunch of guys. And that song we heard, Burgers. We also heard from the band Lowlands and their song called Bold Like Fire. And then from locally, the San Francisco area, Great Highway, we heard their song, The Venom in Me. And next show, I will have more of 2015 Nifty Radio with interesting people I spoke to and their music. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture. Ooh, that's a good question. What is it going to be? I'm going to look inside the iPhone that I have that's very old and moves super slow. Let's see, pictures of scenery. Interesting. Oh! I gotta put this picture of Basil grabbing a stick and taking it out of the water. Yes, let's do that, shall we? My dog never fetches, so to see him actually pull something out of the bay, a stick, it's so wonderful and it should warm your heart. Look at it now at mikesdailypodcast.com. All right, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for listening. Michael Matthew, there's nothing else? No. Anything else about Miley Cyrus being naked? No, nothing else.
Mike, anything you want to say about the Democrats?